I haven't played Gone Home before. We're about to play it. I just finished playing What Remains of Edith Finch, which is a very bleak game. I got pretty immersed in it. And anyway, while we were playing, Andrea texted me. She's like, hey, I'm not feeling too good at work today. I worked long hours. Do you think it would be terrible if I came home early? And I said, no, you should come home early. I didn't hear back from her. So as I got up to go to the restroom after beating What Remains of Edith Finch, I just got filled with dread because that game completely infused me with dread. And I ran upstairs. She was just sitting there watching Criminal Minds, like, hey, what's up? I gave her a big hug and I said, everything okay? And she said, yeah, everything's fine. I'm like, okay. Because probably for the next 24 hours, I'm going to assume that every little thing is going to result in driving off a bridge or getting your head cut off at a fishing cannery. Let's play some Gone Home, shall we? I haven't played it. I don't know what to expect. I think it's like a walking simulator. It's a bit of an older game compared to What Remains. Ah, geez. What do you do that for? I see what's going on with the screen. Let me try to fix it here. That's better. Do graphics medium, that's fine. I'd rather it run smoothly. Okay, let's go. Walk using the left stick. Look around using the right stick. Cool. No buttons. All this Pacific Northwest. This is where all the things happen, apparently. Life is Strange as well. Oh man, the game keeps deciding it wants to run at 1600 by 900. So let me just change my settings in OBS for that. I don't know what the deal is. Keeps changing itself. Just let it run. It's fine. Yeah. Thanks, Jahan.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight.
Let's never leave a baby.
But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport, so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so love you. See you soon. Bye.
Tactical Breach Wizards. What kind of game is it going to be, Sixgun? Caitlin Greenbrier, Portland. Flight 270. I didn't think this was actually in Oregon. Okay. D-pad up to look closer. Locked. Sorry I can't be there to see you, but it is impossible. Please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. I don't want anyone to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you, Sam. Interesting. Can I break in somehow? It's not like a key under the mat, right? Oh, Tacoma's by the same people? That's interesting. Items, passports. Boarding pass for my year in Europe. Don't think I can get out. Don't think there's anything in my bags, right? Could have like a key or something. I can crouch in this game? That's very worrisome. Christmas duck. $5.99. Definitely gonna be breaking into my house here, right? There's the key. Alright. Lauren played this one. Check your back. Boys, Wellspring Movers, Terrence Greenbrier. Boxes, child bed. Overweight boxes, library, TV.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm at a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal. Just like I was talking to you.
Author magazine. It's like Shenmue. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Spiky. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Doki Doki Literature Club. Pick stuff up, check it out, throw it away. Tacoma's the other one. If we manage to finish this, we're going to switch to Tacoma. I don't think we'll finish it today. Let me see. I would love to turn on subtitles. Yes. God. Has the... Oh, Dallas had this problem too, where anytime anything changes, like the position of the window moves and the resolution resets. That helps. All over the Alps. Traveling game, 2 to 6 players. Fuck your shit. You pick this stuff up, investigate it, and just throw it. Yeah, that helps. I don't think I want the text. Yeah. Left on Crabtree, right on Bullhorn, X on 47 North, right on 202 East. Let me turn that off, that's not great. Just subtitles is fine. Hey Namaku, how you doing? Girls 100-meter relay. First place, Jamie Wood and Carla Jones. Katie Greenbrier. That's me. We have these all over the place in Santa Fe. Ah, made in Mexico. Your shit. Track and field, Caitlin Greenbrier. That's me. Bible. It's going well. I'm enjoying it so far. Read letter. Dear Jan, it's so good to hear from you again. All this new house business sounds like quite the adventure. The little dorm room we shared freshman year when we were miserable fantasizing about our dream homes. I always said I wanted a mansion. You said you just wanted a house in the woods. Look who got both. Somebody up there likes you. Could use some of that magic. Send me some lotto numbers. I'll play them seriously. This is super real. Like, if you've ever gone from being, kind of poor and disadvantaged to being in a better situation, like, you kind of, it's kind of this bittersweet, hey, good job, but seriously, can you help me to, I'd really like to be lucky too. Should be complaining about this good old split level we've had since Bob got transferred to Winnipeg. We just got new vinyl siding. Jealous yet? If you want to trade places, how are the girls doing? Interesting. Prelude effects, I just started this one. Repeat What Remains of Edith Finch. Still locked. Another more different key, presumably. It's a really good game. Filled me pretty deeply with dread. What we got here? Pencil. Okay. Dude, the way you just throw shit away is... I can't not laugh at it. It'd be one thing if you picked it up like Shenmue and you're like, I love these. And then it like automatically put it back with the thing that you just throw it on the ground. Track my flight to Amsterdam. Very good.
Sam.
The baby chapter was amazing. It was very well executed. Lewis was by far the best, though.
Sam.
Daniel's a total weirdo.
Sam, where are you?
He had a Nintendo when we were little.
Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
It's a cool way to have a silent protagonist, but have some history there, presumably is what's happening. Yeah, let's put it back. Let's not be a jerk. Jan and Terry. So that's me. That's my sister Sam. Okay. Cool. Big houses. Welcome, new student. Hope you're excited as your first day at Goodville High School. As we are. Better bring the following with you on your first day of class. Sturdy folder with pockets. 1 notebook per period. 6 pens, 6 pencils, box colored pencils, standard combination lock. I like how positive attitude isn't crossed up. Interesting.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House girl. Great.
This is even more of a first world problems of the game. Interesting. Interesting. Son of Boone County died peacefully last his home. Also be his home for the rest of his life. 18th degree in pharmacy. Seldom seen outside his home. Serves with his nephew Terrence Greenbrier. Equal Boone County. Okay. So that's someone we possibly inherited the house from, would be my guess. Whoa, chill out, game. Complex physics simulation of the pencils and Sharpies flying around there. So do you think that What Remains of Edith Finch was inspired by this game? It seems like it's a pretty early walking simulator. Hey there now, girl Sam? Or, hey, are you the new girl Sam? Gotcha. I'm Tommy. I'm at the back behind you. Wait, if you get this right back. Hi, Tommy. Yes, I'm Samantha, and yes, I'm new. What's up? But since you're new, maybe you could use a friend. I spelled friend wrong. It's pretty real. I don't have a lot of friends either. Somebody, if you don't mind. Yes or no? No, I don't mind. What do you want to ask? Was it just your uncle who went psycho, or does it run in the family? Okay. So it was our uncle. That's fucked up. I do not miss high school myself. It was probably the worst time in my life, middle school and high school. Level of pettiness. I didn't have like passive aggressive pettiness. I was like beat up in school. Electrical system meet local codes. Are there any deficiencies? Unclear. Wiring in house is technically up to safety and amperature requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring have been added into structure over the last 100 years. System is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no reason. Pressure in floorboards and door frames disrupt circuits. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly destructive of the walls, floor, and fixtures and structure. For discussion of Mr. Greenbrier, since there are no current safety concerns, issues will not be addressed. Black Cat Electrical Company. Interesting. That's a good thing. This game is good at foreshadowing so far. I'm enjoying it. Killing of JFK. You've seen the movie, discover the truth. Laserdisc. Jackal turns a master. None I have to disagree. Mastery is not a question of specialization, but sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. You happen to be in the market for a combination LDCD player. I am interested in this particular. Okay, so he's writing a review. You can do better. Was it JFK? Wasn't JFK? What if JFK wasn't JFK? Sent back in time to Dallas, 1963. Early spaceflight utopia. What the fuck? These Lebanese? Paradox result in JFK death being desired outcome. Magic bullet theory. Why not disrupt motorcade minutes before Lee Harvey Oswald can fire? That's okay. That's a good way to tell me that it might be a little cray-cray, whoever was in this room. John Russell opened his eyes and saw them, the stars, twinkling as if he were lying on the grass in his family's yard in Massachusetts, even though that place was a million miles away. He blinked the sleep from his eyes, looking through the carbon-reinforced safety glass of the space station Archimedes. The future needed him. Right, so he started to write a novel and gave up. He felt drunk. His bare feet. He stared for a moment. As for a gorgeous woman wearing a tight polymer fiber tunic. Fabric that strained at the seams to contain her generous bosom was emblazoned with the phrase, matter transference operator. Then he passed out. Across the gap in time, only messages had passed before, but now, and man, they needed him more than ever. Changing the past was no longer good enough. The instructions from the council had been clear: what to procure, what to construct from it, how to assemble it, so he made the machine, how to transport him bodily across time. Starship Archimedes. Comma, command of the vessel. He had saved the president's life twice before. Wow, that's very impressively written bad writing. Like, it's kind of hard to do that on purpose sometimes. Interesting, interesting. Nutty stuff. Coaster. Sometimes a coaster is just a coaster. Not gathering moss. I was a teenage drag queen. 90210, does anybody still care? How to subvert the male gaze. Oh, they really do let you check a lot of stuff out in this. Grab Dad's second book. Oh. A message from our future: save the president's life once, but in the next 24 hours will be another attempt and the lines of communication are down. Interesting. So my dad was a science fiction novelist who was actually crazy and thought that... Now, I can't tell if this is just fiction, if these are just ideas for a story. One of the books looked like it was an actual theory. That one's clearly fiction. Stranger Under My Roof. Best-selling advice book for parents and teens. Teen years are fraught with change of all types. These don't just affect your teen. Your teen's turbulent years are a challenge for parents. This game's doing a pretty good job of building dread as well. He could be using crazy for instance. I'm pretty sure this is my dad. My dad is Terrence Ryer something. Oh, 0451 it says over there. Greenbrier. My uncle has a different last name. 45. Views who's submitting the last few months, frankly, they're becoming more trouble than they're worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit, it's your job to stay under it, no mind to cut back. Even then, it's getting harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non-sequiturs. Usable copy without heavy rewrites. So he's gone down from being a best-selling author to writing reviews of stereo equipment. Almost be firing you. Half your rate to write stuff I could actually use. David's known you for a long time and he's the boss. I'll give you one more shot. Say so. Your old stuff. Interesting. So 0451. Something I need to remember. Presumably, it's that kind of game. Hey, thanks, Jahan. And congrats to Marco, having it back.
You're super awesome.
Good to know gifts work. Yeah, thanks, Jahan. Please find and enclose your original document and a typed copy for your records. The notarized copy is in file at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important matter. Will and testament. I, Oscar Masson, that's my uncle, in full confidence of mind and memory, and after a full survey of valued items by name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. Unmarried, have no children, no debts to my name. I bequeath every item of value which I might possess, including the dwelling, to my nephew Terrence, so the main character's dad. In the events that he should die before me, falls to his children. Subscribes to this will. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so that confirms that for sure. Oh, really? Huh. Thanks, Jahan. That's awesome. I think it's proper form to thank Jahan.
The Northwest Weather Service reports high winds and torrential rain conditions affecting the following counties: Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County, Tacoma County, and Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
Pretty good greasy pizza box. One of these coasters is going to be the coaster. Probably shouldn't check every single one. X-Files. Might actually be a real TV listing from '95. Boy Meets World, Family Matters.
Reports high winds and torrential rain conditions affecting the following counties:
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Boone County, Dawn County, Tacoma County, and
You know I'm in Boone County because I've been reading stuff about it everywhere. This is a bit more of a game than Edith Finch, for sure.
Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
Got safe codes to put in. Suppose we find a Pioneer for remote and cables. We need a half-page review for the October issue, so it gives you about 2 weeks to get us a copy for the edit. Toast link. Right.
This is a severe
Has Toastlink been around since the 90s? I thought that was a
weather
fairly new
high
technology.
winds and torrential rain conditions
So
affecting
digital
the
optical
following
audio.
counties: Austin County,
We've got the
Dawn
address
County,
forwarding.
Tacoma County, and Wisconsin.
Curiosity, my boarding
Residents
pass
are
says,
strongly
okay,
urged to
so
stay
I know that it's
indoors, clear
1995.
all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
Ginger. Yeah, thanks, man. It's a good way to use it, for sure. Namaku, I'll hook you up back with your sub-block. We finished Odalis. Did you have another game you wanted to see on stream?
This is
Thought
a
this might
severe
help.
weather warning. The
Piece of
Northwest
cake to make
Weather
friends.
Service
Never worry again about
reports
having
high
friends to
winds
spend time with.
and
This
rain
book will teach you to make
conditions
friends
affecting the
even when you're
following
shy.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them?
Yes,
You
I
have
do.
to get to know them. Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk. But sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform. And she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
Good use of their time. I did. Yeah, you should be able to find the playthrough on YouTube. I thought she was going, like, the first time you meet someone, they've got a gold star, and then the longer you know them, you start to find out negative things about them. Andromeda Strain, VHS tapes. What's that book Dad wrote? The Accidental Savior. He also knows the president's life hangs in the balance, but who would believe him? Not just another James Bond. Okay, so that's the same person he was writing about in a really shitty story, clearly with writer's block, about John Russell being in the future. How you been? I know you're a published author and everything, but my editor at Hi-Fi has too much review work to go around, and he's looking for another freelancer. I thought of you. You were saying in your last letter how much of a pain it's been trying to find a publisher. Spreading stereo reviews is dead simple. Sit at home with a glass of scotch, listen to home records, and write up how it sounds, and get paid. Cool. Looks like he started out pretty good at that, and he started to sort of suck at it over time. Pretty good sound quality on that. Right. I like the way this game is constructed. I'm gonna let you figure out a story in whatever order you explore the rooms. Captain Rango looked off at the ocean and went on forever, or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was a black pirate ship. But I lost him at Horse Island. This kid writes really well. Looks like you thought too soon. Yeah, that's kiddie phrasing. Black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself counted at the back of the deck. Captain Allegra, you're never gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise, and your father were a liar. It's like they remembered to spell things wrong. Why do you keep following us, you imbecile? The first mate yelled out, "We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world, and you'll see her father was no liar." The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. Now west, she said. Ship shield for sunset. Interesting. So, they already have this kind of fear that their dad's a liar. Interesting. Yeah, right. Better handwriting than me, at least. I've given up. I write everything in all caps now. Girl Scout. Looks like it always plays one side. Big ass house. guess it's less of a first world thing if they... I guess the fact that you have someone in your family to inherit from. Department of Agriculture, Forestry Manual. Do not distribute to public. I like having to turn the lights on. It's a cool way to track whether you've been in a room yet. I mean, it makes sense as something you do in real life, but it's also a good game mechanic. Reproductive system, worksheet 6, the menstrual cycle. Travels through the fallopian tube, the ovary releases the ovum, 2 weeks later, since 9 years and 9 of pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. 2 stories, the events are out of order. Get a sheet of lined paper. Okay. So write the sperm and the menstrual cycle in the right order. The menstrual cycle, a novella. They're just supposed to put it in a specific order. That's awesome. I love how in the previous room we saw that she was trying to write stories when she was young. 1939. Back to her home village of Wayland in Poland. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she's engaged to wed. What grade is she in? This is in 94. So it's fairly recent. Dear Boris, still in his baker's smock, he must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. So I think she uses all the proper words in here. Over the wheezing of the steam engine, the deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. The Baham's land. See me. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. He is blind, his legs are missing, bandaged with torn bed sheets. S's egg will not be meeting his sperm. It dissolves. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for pregnancy, it comes through the vagina. Essa vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance. Dude, I was this kind of fucking kid. That was totally me. I think I just got eye rolls from my teachers. Yeah, she did it in the right order, right? I thought I was so clever. It's really funny, though.
Somehow I always knew that someday we'd see through.
Dear Mr. Greenbrier, to inform that unfortunately Mercury Books were unable to publish her follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book, hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first. Our stewardship of the series must end here.
Voodoo, mildew, and shandu.
What's the date on that? 76? Oh wow, so he's been a washed up
If it ain't me, it's my shadow.
author for a while. Although that all of them mention James Bond.
I thought you'd stay away from me.
Try to cut.
This game has a little bit of dread building. It's not quite as intense as What Remains of Edith Finch. You're still like, where is everybody? So that's his first book. Don't put anything back. Pick it up and throw it on the ground. Please give this to your mother. Thanks for having Danny over to your new home. He's missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave him my permission. Spend less time with these games anyway, no hurry returning it. That is such a mom way to describe Nintendo Street Fighting tape. Let Samantha know that she's welcome back over to our house anytime.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, like, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Interesting. Please tell Mom and Dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. Sam. Hi, Lonnie. So you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon? That would be so cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too. So hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to. We can meet in the parking lot. Totally in. See you there. I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready. Getting Hadokened. Alright. But she's got her friend.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men?
They actually got to hang out.
Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked,
Oh god, no,
I
I
followed
never
them
talked to the
outside while they
neighbors.
smoked.
Good lord.
And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl.
Our neighbors were a
But
meth
then
lab.
she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
Oh wow, Johan. Whatever you found, don't tell Mom and Dad. The attic. Ooh. Ooh. Yikes. Yeah, there's kind of a mix of whimsy and dread in here. Yeah, I hear that. Alright, so something janky's going on in the attic. Maybe we'll get more keys later. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Plumes of smoke will rise over the northeastern region. Janice? Is Janice my mom? I'll explain why there's the park services. I think it was. Yeah, okay. Making sure. In addition to removing dead and overgrown vegetation leading to wildfires and drier months, the operation serves as a valuable training tool for the forestry and firefighting personnel involved. Okay. So now I'm going to learn about Mom. Dad's a failed author. Couples bowling, cooking class, take apron, ballroom dancing, bowling, bowling. Okay. She stops writing the week. She stops doing bowling and ballroom dancing and is just doing cooking class. Try to cook for Terry. Is the dad. Temporary personnel transfer. Taking the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station of Flintlock National Forest. Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer at Flintlock Forestry Station, Janice Greenbrier, is charged with the supervision of transferred personnel. Duration of transfer will be based on performance evaluation. The person who transferred wasn't like a evil person. That's just a vent. We inappropriately covered. Bratmobile.
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around.
Interesting.
I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Cool. Lonnie is the girl with the cute note about the Hadoken. Playing Street Fighter together. Giving somebody a mixtape is, I can't use it? Oh, that makes me sad. I guess it didn't actually have the cassette. Oh, maybe that's what this is. Role model Girl Scout. Okay. It's the tape for that. Gotcha. Yeah. Giving somebody a mixtape is a pretty significant sign of interest. So I believe you have your damn light in the house on. You're as bad as your sister. That's pretty good meta. Whoops. Daniel called again. He wants his Nintendo game back. Oh. My name is I, Samantha Greenbrier. I'm 17 years old and therefore an independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going to the city on my own is frankly absurd. Compared with Katie, who is only 3 years old, 3 years older than me. I wrote like this when I was like 15. All the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally safe city on my own like a human being, and since you may also remember that I have my own car now, you can't really stop me. Warmest regards, your daughter Samantha. Too real. Beatmobile, cool schmool.
We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're so cool. We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmuck.
How do you go about making a mixtape for somebody these days? Andrea had a mix CD made for her. Adventurous the cat. Super. It's like being really careful. Adventurous the cat returns. Excuse me. Let's see the Super Nintendo in here though. Chun-Li moves. Lightning kick. Kick, 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 kick. That's pretty perfect too. There's never printed out game FAQs. See it? It is a shark. I can do stereograms pretty easily. It is a heart. Just gonna have to cross your eyes. Listen to a Spotify playlist. Journey of Crystal. Pretty good job, please. Nope, it was not pre-game FAQs. It was very, very early, but I definitely remember printing off walkthroughs for games like Final Fantasy VI. You can look up Chrono Trigger walkthrough and find out the oldest upload date. I didn't have a computer with internet, so I'd go to the library to print them off. Stiggy. I like how sometimes the overlay for an item you pick up is some story as well. Prove Kid Dates in Africa. Sold sound by Eddie Vedder, Weezer, Rufus Salt wants it now. Where I used to have to get Nintendo Powers and Tips and Tricks magazines before I discovered that site. Who's the guy that founded Game FAQs? CB? Is it CB? Recognize it. See it. Sonic Boom 94. Social Distortion. Man, Sam had this in like 4th grade. Oh, it's supposed to be like a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper. They didn't get the rights to Lisa Frank? Garbage going on. CJC. I think he wrote some of those really early FAQs too. Like you can find for Super Nintendo JRPGs. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended the single shining thread into the lower cavern of the labyrinth. Ha 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 ha. That's cool. You can see her getting better, similar characters. From across the yawning basin. Cool. Sam seems like a cool person. I would be friends with her. Hey! This actual game was called... what the fuck is it called? Andrea's friend, we played it one night. Like, you have to figure out who has a crush on you, so you keep dialing numbers on a phone, and then only you can hear it. Sometimes you have to play it on speakerphone so everyone can hear it. Yolanda de Soto. Mr. Bench observed Miss de Soto wearing a t-shirt with an unacceptable image on the front, a large beer can labeled Pabst Blue Ribbon. Soto was sent to the guidance counselor's office. Oh, Lonnie is Yolanda. Okay, that's her friend. Given the option to turn her shirt inside out, that's pretty 90s. Change into a shirt from her gym locker, be suspended for the rest of the day. Chose suspension. No answer from her father. Okay. So Lonnie's kind of a bad influence. I think that Sam and Lonnie are probably romantically intertwined just because of the mixtape. I guess we'll see. Combination. I've had that much to drink, Jodie Foster. How many fingers am I holding up? I've been reading my secret diary again. Here you go. Have some pate. Gross. To believe 1071, or excuse me, 1017. That's not it. Samantha Greenbrier, Fletcher, period 5, shop, C-, not a challenging assignment. Metal plaque for family portrait, reasonable subject but not complex. When I said that mom and dad should be replaced with parents' names, I did not mean just add them underneath. Acceptable leveling on it, just show more pride in work. She doesn't care. This is the one me and my dad are building. Want to go for a ride when it's done? From Lonnie, presumably. So I gotta find her password somewhere. The Misfits. Bunch of classics. Should do creative writing. Which makes sense. But she has a teacher that appreciates her. Still need to find this code though. It might be elsewhere in the house, I guess. Hi Lonnie, I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. So all the cool kids are doing, I've decided. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. It's a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages in their beepers. We're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper, and it's 2 cats riding a motorcycle. Your drawing of cats was so good that I added a background to make it even better. Pretty good background. It's got aliens. Did you know they're about to be abducted by aliens? We can get Mr. Fish right now. I feel like he would probably have lots of cats. Also, like his secret shame is he watches 90210 religiously. I'll ask him about it after class. This game is super real. Somewhat convinced that it's based on real notes. Chun-Li inputs aren't gonna get me. The little stickers everywhere. Like, this is totally a teenage girl's room. It's just like my sister Robin's room. The stars on the ceiling. Super duper real. (1988) Mitten cat. Okay. Nope. I can't remember what the original game was called. Dream Phone? I think it was Dream Phone. The Bible. Black. Special, adorable, merry, affectionate, nice, thoughtful, honest, admirable. I don't think there's anything else to be found in here. I'd be down if it's a good game. I mean, I really liked Life is Strange. Makes sense that it doesn't have the mechanic. The teen drama didn't bother me. Alright, I give up. Must be in another room. It has to be in here. Anyone who's played this before, can I find the code to her locker in this room? I don't think I've found it elsewhere already. I don't think it was one of the other rooms. It's good. Cool. Is it still an adventure game? Do you still make decisions and stuff? Lonnie rules. Oh man. That particular brand of label maker too. Super duper real. Cinnamons. Interesting. Oh, it's terrifying. Way to scare the shit out of me, though. Wouldn't it be great if it seems like it's... This is basically Manic Panic. They probably couldn't get the rights to it.
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, I need to fix these roots. Think you could help? Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked into the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited. And the moment was gone.
That's pretty real. Do you want to see Pulp Fiction after school at the Coliseum? It came out last weekend and Todd won't shut up about it, so either it's good or we can make fun of him for liking it. And Mom's supposed to cook dinner for us tonight for a change. We can ditch out of it probably. What time? Also, isn't that movie supposed to be really violent? Am I going to barf? According to Todd, it's pretty hardcore. I guess Uma Thurman gets stabbed in the heart with a heroin needle, so that's kind of hilarious. Something about cheeseburgers is important. Let's see it again. 7:15. Okay, don't barf. Their relationship seems very cute. I'm sad that the moment passed. It'd be great if it's building all this dread and it's just like, you know, you've just been gone for a while and you're finding out all these things you missed about your family. It's not actually anything untoward going on. Those are underwear drawers. Fit a ton of jeans in this one. Jeez. Oh, barf. It's my parents' room. Nothing I don't hate right now. Maybe don't look in your parents' underwear drawer if you don't want to realize the truth about them. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Fugitive, All the President's Men. Inside Edition. Sound of Music. Blank Tape, I'm sure, or something special. Silence of the Lambs, Bridge on the River Kwai. Bridge on the River Kwai. Aw, Mitten. Caitlin, H5. Yeah, it's all a prank. Some of the attention to detail, like the drawers that are stuck open, or like the little cabinet that doesn't work in the bathroom. It makes me wonder if this is modeled off of a real house. It just Earth, Wind, and Fire and Willie Nelson. Oh yeah. There's a lot of Bibles in this house. Something to have in your drawer, I guess. It's from me, dear Mom, Dad, and Sam. I'm in the channel. Back. Right, she's pronouncing channel. This time going to Brussels. Sorry I didn't write you on the way to London, but I was too excited about the channel. London was great. You've always wanted to visit, and I think you really should. You'd love it. If you wanted to come back here as a family sometime, I guess I could be convinced. Yeah, Dylan. Dude, my name is basically perfect for being in trouble. In a way no one else in the houses is. Yeah, Dylan. People will gang up on me with it sometimes. It's funny. Take your time. I'm glad to have it in good hands. Oh, I didn't put that back. Sorry, Dad. Walt Whitman. Isn't this the book of poems that's in Breaking Bad? Look how that's drawn. You're Jan. Jaden. Yeah, Jaden. Yeah, I guess that works too. Yeah, those leaves of grass. I understand how you feel, both of I. Bob and I have had our down periods. It's become a bit of a way of life, actually. You get used to each other, you live your own lives in the same house. The kids are up, they go away. Sorry, this isn't helping, is it? Don't worry. Terry will get over whatever's distracting him, things go back to normal. As for Sam being distant, it's a teenager for you, nothing to worry about. In the meantime, this controlled burn, that sounds like quite the adventure, but let's cut to the chase. This new ranger they sent, that's what I want to hear about. Ranger Rick? Oh, we read about that earlier. You have to tell me everything and send pictures. I want the whole package. That sounds wrong. Is Ranger Rick cheating with Mom because the home life was bad because he wasn't being a very good author anymore? I mean, it would be kind of great if that wasn't what was happening, right? And it was just, Ghost Mansion. There's Cowboy the brother. Just kind of your general real-life suburban family. Worlds and still lifes. This game is really good. They oriented the house in a clever way. Like, it's still a video game, right? Wouldn't it be good if Chekhov's gun didn't fire? Oh, I'd love it. Because in this case, it's not so much Chekhov's gun, it's just general dread, right? This is to kill a child. Don't think we should go around just willy-nilly killing kids, but if we're gonna use kids being in danger as a plot device, well then, dagnabbit, follow through on it, no character shields. After the honeymoon, rediscovering yourselves personally, spiritually, and sexually. You didn't have a honeymoon. So we had a pre-honeymoon, sort of? Yeah. No kidding. Katie, Mom and Dad were going to make up the guest room for you to stay in over the summer, but you came home with such short notice they weren't around to do it. Use my room if you want, I won't be needing it anymore. Ooh. Books. Hey, composition book. Got a bunch of these. Samantha Greenbrier, Ghost Hunter Journal. Tall was Uncle Oscar. I've read that spirits can sour milk. Milk was just bought yesterday. Also ghost milk. Honey says she feels a presence in the TV room, so I'm beginning to feel cold. Built a protective pillow for it. Play the Ouija board as a medium. Disturbing messages. Maybe from the other side. Oscar's definitely here. Listed Lonnie to stay up all night and help patrol premises, recording any signs of otherworldly presence. Ectoplasm in the attic. Gotta make our way to the attic at some point. Due to our best efforts, we both fell asleep around 4 a.m. Nice. Hey Sam, you were asking what junior ROTC ribbons meant. Here's a handy guide. That's who that picture was of, Lonnie. Army thinks I can find my way around. The Army has branded me as a certified killing machine. A born adventurous. No borders can hold me. The Army recognizes this. A born adventurous. I think I was cool before, now you do. Jay's thinking about joining the junior ROTC. They did a high school orientation thing yesterday because he's in 8th grade and starts high school next year. Whoa. This is a good game. Alright. What we got going on in here? Tape recorder. Performance evaluation. Richard Pottermock? Oh, this is Ranger Rick. Jan, Mom, this is the new transfer. She thinks he's hot shit. Ranger Rick has been indispensable during the course of the prescribed burn preparation execution. I believe his expertise and dedication has been the deciding factor in success. And the Flintlock Forest staff, Rick's contribution to daily operations become essentially out of its continuing success. She was having an affair with Ranger Rick. Halloween show, don't forget your costume. Stygian Lounge, see you there. The Misfits, they're awesome. Lonnie.
Sometimes you just have to lie to Mom and Dad. Like when Lonnie asked me to see a band with her and stay over at her friend's place in the city after. That's a lie to Mom and Dad's situation. But it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome. And everybody was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Between two songs, Lonnie leaned over and said, "How do you like your first show?" I was so happy. I felt tears starting in my eyes. And then she up and hugged me. I think she could tell.
Discordant punk, I'm good, thank you. Get the idea. He saved her from the raging flames, and then things really heated up. Uluru. Well, she's got a thing for forest people. I have to see. Hit mute just in time. Whew. Alright. Oh. Oh, sewing tables. Yeah, my mom had one of these. That's cool. Whoa! Captain Allegra and the first mate, your costume, my costume. Shit, man. Nice. I'm sad if Sam and Lonnie don't get to be together forever. They're super cute together. Like this is the kind of game where happy things can't happen, though. Oh, what's that? For Sam, calculated. Ooh, heavens Betsy, calculated. Nothing can stop me. Decide 3, stay away. 4, calculated. Waitress hell. Oops. This is a pretty real donating my body to science. Two, 3, 6, 8, maybe? No. She's just doing different colors. 1, 4, 5, 7, maybe. Oops, come on. It's easy to screw this up. Could be 1, 4, 5, 7. Let's try that. Skills for healthy life. Oh man, I had that exact folder. So in the library, I noticed something in the corner. I found a secret passage that had Oscar's creepy old stuff in it. Oh my god, I have to see this. We're skipping 6th. Interesting. Cool. Yeah. That exact folder, I had that. Let me check this one more time because I have terrible memory. 1, 4, 5, 7. Let's try it. Still gotta check this out. I love the way they've built up to that. Nope. We'll keep looking. I'm sure we'll find it somewhere. Or Kurt Cobain. Sam's darkroom. Do not enter if red lights are on. Okay. They're doing a really good job of making all this stuff that looks really concerning, and then there's like a reasonable explanation for all of it, right? Like you see blood in the tub and you're like, oh my god, like, oh, it's manic panic, no big deal. Creepy red lights in a sign, like, oh, it's a dark room. Okay, that makes sense. Good god. Alright, let's go to the library. so it's a secret thing in the library. Right. Which is off this way. Left. Oh, cool. Wonder if you could find that without having the note pointed out to you. Ghost Hunters, Sam and Lonnie's secret house investigation. Caught hidden compartments found 3. Library, upstairs hall, foyer. Evidence of the supernatural discovered. Search continues. Nice. Whoa, look at all this stuff. Whoa, that was scary. They mentioned that being a thing earlier. Hey USMC, how you doing? Oops. God so loved the world he gave his only son. It's just a little creepy. So there's a couple other secrets. Let's go check them out. I don't think it's a dead bodies type situation. I think it's just a reasonable misunderstanding. Oh, cool. Is our secret Ouija board? Hello? Hello? Who are you? Oscar. What do you want? To combat? And they stop, of course. Let's open, turn first number. Ah, okay. Got part of Sam's locker combination. Gotcha. Seems like that's one of the primary focuses right now. Let's go back downstairs. This way. This game's super good. I dig it. I enjoy that it does not, it lets you kind of figure out what's going on. It's a less hand-holdy experience. Wonder if there's like an Easter egg hidden in one of these somewhere. Private Dinner read Heaven at the Edge of the World, The Green Glacier, Part 2. It's 9th grade, okay, so that was a while ago. More about Captain Allegra. Interesting. Okay, so the story is she had already written the first mate as being male, but now that she met Lonnie, she needs to rewrite the story, make her the right person. The love of her life. Cool. Property of Sam. Hey, favorite customer. What's groovin'? Check in Dad's office. Oh, there's another one in the library. Over here somewhere, right? Misfits.
At Todd's brother's place after the show, there was only a futon to sleep on, so Lonnie and I shared it. The lights went out. I was turned toward her. My eyes started to adjust, and then I could see she was looking at me, too. In the dark, she smiled. My heart was beating so fast. I rolled over. I felt so, I don't know, nervous. After a minute, she put her arm around me and was so close and whispered in my ear, "I really like you." I just nodded my head, and I really hope she could tell. I really hope that she meant what I think she did. I felt like a shook-up can of soda ever since.
Know that feel.
I hope we have the chance to talk before I explode.
Good luck, Sam. Okay. 050. Yes, the game's well. Ooh, okay. It's Lonnie. Aw. Romantic manic hair.
Lonnie came over today. Everything was
He's
different. She was sitting at my desk chair, and she wouldn't look at me. Finally, I asked her what was going on. She said she felt like she'd done something wrong that night in the city. Like I must think... But I said no. There was nothing wrong. I just wanted to say... But I couldn't find the words. I felt like I was gonna cry, but I wasn't sad. She got up and sat next to me on the bed. I looked at her. Lonnie, do you think you could ever... And that's when she kissed me.
Okay, good. Whew, I was so worried. That it was about to be a really, really sad, unrequited love type situation. How is the Disaster Artist? Is it good? I'd like to see it. Down into the creepy basement we go. Don't worry, one of them is certainly gonna die. It's gonna be miserable. I feel like that's almost better though than it being an unrequited situation. It sucks to... Dying sucks, but... Feeling the same way about somebody, however briefly, is pretty amazing. I'd like to cordially thank you for having me to your abode for the Thanksgiving holiday with your lovely family. Enjoyed the flavorful potatoes, and also it was weird being around your parents. I like that they use red so you know who's writing in these cases. For that long, but it was pretty funny how impossible it is for your dad not to be awkward for more than 30 seconds at a time. Very cordially, your close friend and confidant, Lonnie D. A fancy man, quite. Dear Miss DeSoto, allow me to take this opportunity to thank you in kind for being such a gracious host of the festivities at your father's estate following the aforementioned meal with my parents. Your family's Thanksgiving feast was the more enjoyable of the two events, I must say. I especially appreciated the time I spent with your grandmother, who was a lovely woman with sterling taste and refined air. Let's do it again next year. Madam Samantha Greenbrier, Esquire. She wrote that on back of the original note. Yeah. I agree, Propagable.
It's different now.
Really cute.
I mean, we still hang
relationship.
out all the time like before. But now when no one else is around... Well, you know. So you could say we're dating. But it's secret. Secret dating? I don't know.
Still not super
I mean, I guess
okay
that's
in
the real
90s.
difference. Now when we get off the phone, or go home for the night, or it's just quiet and we're alone, we say I love you.
Hey, I have one of these. Productive system worksheet. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. If you would be so kind to not share any direct hints with me, you can talk and hide, exclamation point hide before your message if you don't want me to see something, but I'd like to figure stuff out on my own if possible. Thank you. That's cool. Reed College, Samantha Greenbrier. You've been admitted to the creative writing track of the Reed College summer program for young scholars. Nice. So that's super recent, right? That's this year. Financial aid for 75% of the tuition and fees. Cool.
I'm so stupid sometimes. I was telling Lonnie that I got into my college summer program thing, and I was all making plans like, you should come visit me,
No,
stay in
that's
my
right.
dorm
She's
room.
in
But she said,
JROTC.
Sam, I ship out on June 6th. I was like, ship out? To where? She said, to basic training. What did you think I was doing all that ROTC stuff for? I guess she's been planning to join the army right after high school since she was like 12. And I guess she's really going to do it. So I was like, after graduation, I'm just never going to see you again? She said, let's just have fun while we can.
Hmm. That's sad. Dear Terrence, thank you for sending along a copy of your newly published book. An author's first published manuscript was a momentous occasion. I read it this afternoon. Certainly recognize my son. Wow, his dad's a PhD. In the subject matter, an author's work is the externalization of that which he holds dear, and that which he fears, and in this respect I believe your work was successful. But through the lens through which the personal shown was needlessly clouded by genre cliches and plausible dime store science fictional deus ex machina. The great authors spoke of their lives in low and clear and honest tones, a lens crystal that reflects the thoughts without distortion. I congratulate you on surviving the great ordeal that is publication, and rest assured that readers of your chosen genre will lap up copies hungrily, but I urge you to shed artifice. You can do better. Jesus! What a dad! Good lord. Let's see. It is June 6, 1995. Yeah. Super pretentious writing style. That was like almost over the top. Bad dad, but like it's believable. I know some people that have that kind of relationship where it's like couching it in positive things. Department of Justice. It's a marriage certificate. Oh, naturalization. I'm sorry, I can't read. It's hard for me to see this a little closer. I just saw that her marital status was married. She came from Canada. Mom's citizenship stuff. Gotcha. Hey, chat keeps getting cleared. If someone keeps violating rules, feel free to boot them. Thanks. Rather than continually clearing. That was a nice attempt, child. Do a good job next time. Ooh, what a dick. Oh, okay. Postcard. Hey Sam, I'm writing to you from Multnomah Falls. I don't know what this is. We're on a stupid class trip, which is stupid because it's March, and I don't know if anyone running the school has been to Oregon, but it's cold and rainy as shit in March. Wish you were here. Oh wait, you are here because I'm writing this to you in the gift shop. Oh shit. Love you, Lonnie.
They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that. Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail
secret passage.
and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, "You didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl." But I don't think they know about us. The kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group.
Sad. Lonnie DeSoto. Care of Hector and Marie DeSoto. Oh, Mexico. USA. Wow. Dear Sam, today's Spanish lesson. Fly Mosca. So happy you liked the drawing. I was thinking of you when I drew it. I knew you'd be able to tell. You'd love Mexico, I think. Probably. Nature here is totally different than back home. I keep thinking about Allegra and the first mate lost on a mysterious island where even the plants are out to get them. And I think of them together, out there in the wilderness together, and I start thinking of you again. While you're here in bed and I almost feel you. I've been trying to save it for when we're together again. I haven't done a good job, okay, but I tried. And the way she's writing it there, goodness. Okay, enough about that. Your last letter got to me the day before we start driving back north. I'll be erasing this letter home. If I get home first, we can read it together. And yes, I'm taking tons of photos. We have to spend so much time in the dark room. That's what they do in the dark room. X-ray specs. Best of dads, here's the worst of dads. It's like a drug. The first time I was in my room in the middle of the night. I woke up and Lonnie was kissing me. The clock said 3:13. Her face was spectral in its dim red light. Not reading any more of that. Nope. Clever. Good job, game. Girl Scout, the band formerly known as Cub Scout. Setlets, role model, authority, main squeeze, telling stories. First mate, self, Girl Scouts, denial.
Todd's band lost their singer. Todd said he sucked. Lonnie said he got sick of Todd's shit, and he was complaining about needing a new singer. So Lonnie was like, "I can sing." And they were all kind of like, "You can?" And she was like, "Probably." But she's been rehearsing with them for like a week now. And I finally got to see them play in Todd's basement today. And she's actually really amazing. I feel so proud when she's on stage. It's incredible being in awe of someone you love. So everybody knows it's like a temporary situation till she ships out in June. But till then, I'm gonna be at every single show.
Terry, age 12. It's my dad. Previously spent some time in this house, apparently. Way too dark. Doesn't work. It's like a firewood room, it looks like. I think that's all that's in here. Wait, what's this? There should be an achievement for putting everything back, for sure. That's cool. Sure there's nothing else in here. Maybe I'll get a flashlight later. Guess I can throw this in there. 90s Discord and punk isn't really my jam. I feel like the developers actually did all this. I'm really glad the game had restraint with the detailed love history thing. Grandpa's a dick. A letter from Granddad. Very descriptive. Now he had a pharmacy. Interesting. My uncle. Headbanging. Maybe for the Marstead stream. Oh boy. That's a Western game. I feel like it probably subverts some anime tropes, I guess we'll see. Keep seeing frickin' fan art for it pop up on the front page of Reddit. I had to hide the subreddit in case any spoilers ended up in there. It's a lie to mom and dad situation, but it was so worth it. Girls on stage were so loud and real and awesome. Everybody is moving together like one huge tide of sound. Psycho House Girl. That's her. She's the Psycho House Girl. See you, Namaku. Catch you later. Cool stuff about being the Psycho House Girl. Cool thing number one, everybody in the hall thinking you don't know. They're looking at you and whispering as you walk past because I guess they haven't heard. Peripheral vision. Costume, skeletons and devils, cheerleaders from the Smells Like Teen Spirit video. One girl dressed as Jack Kennedy. Ratmobile is a pretty good name for a band. More secret passages. Women outlaws. Tougher than a wild Mustang. Oh, cool. Captain Allegra. Revolution Girl. This one's for you, Grossman. Kicking against the patriarchy. Heavens to Betsy. Oh, that's cool. Girl Justice now. They even use that old label maker. Yeah, there's the quote I regret more than anything else. Heard enough, had enough, ready to join the revolution and take a stand against Grossman and the patriarchy? Yeah. More cool zines, or maybe even a mixtape. Mr. and Mrs. from the Girl Riot Underground. P.O. Box. Oh wow, they got a bunch of zines. Sweet. I remember zines.
Yeah, I wonder if I go in and say, what if I say
Yeah, that's not a quote. That's a sound effect.
Kawaii. Don't ever do that again, Marstead.
Dear Ms. Greenbrier, I appreciate the time and effort you put into writing your letter. Showed initiative. It's well written. Does not change my mind on this matter. And that Mrs. Soto is a friend of yours. The fact of the matter is that she defaced school property with profanity. The fact that she allegedly defaced her own locker in retaliation for another student doing the same to yours is immaterial. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. As to your complaint that no other student has been punished for their part in the incident, the fact is that no guilty party has come forward. Since the evidence has made face your locker, and there's no one to punish. Let this issue drop. It was bringing more unwanted attention on yourself.
I don't get Molly sometimes. Like, her band, and our zine, and her hair, and everything are all anti-authority. But I watch her in JROTC, and she's doing drills in perfect formation. Following orders, no question. And there's all this stuff in the news about don't ask, don't tell. Like, she's going to join the army and then have to lie about who she is. She said they don't need to know what they don't need to know. Like it was no big deal. This from the girl who trashed her locker to, like, defend my honor. I've learned when to stop arguing, though. I don't think Lonnie even gets Lonnie sometimes.
I feel like in this case, the reason why they inherited this house is to have a reason to have a giant house for a family that's not super rich, right? Sloan Josephine. Or Jan. That looks about right. En Espanol. Offer of promotion. Bruce Pendleton. Due to your exemplary management of the Flintlock prescribed burn operation last year, the service's need for experienced personnel to direct regional operations. To offer you the position of Regional Conservation Management Director, your assistance we sought to fill your investigate the regional management building located in Winchester Bullhorn to be more convenient for your daily commute. Cool, good for her. Glad she got a. Hey Lonnie, sorry my mom was such a bitch last night. She's hardly ever around since her forest is like an hour away. When she is home, she takes it out on you. Because you're not a member of the family, she knows you won't call her on it, and I'm sorry. She's just jealous of our cool and freewheeling lifestyle. I feel sorry for you. My mom lives in Florida. You have to have a mom every day. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the mom thing like that. I know I shouldn't complain. No, I'm being serious. My mom is a psycho-Christian. Her new husband, Don, is a complete tool. Living in Florida with him is her eternal punishment in my mind. You wouldn't rather live with your mom in Florida? Huh. Take that as a no. Daniel says he's coming over to get his game back. Call Daniel back. Side edition. Uh-oh. Oh, this is bad. Investigative team visits camp whose specialists help adolescents overcome deviant behavior and homosexuality.
Katie, you know how Mom and Dad are. Not exactly super open-minded about things. It feels like every minute I don't spend with Lonnie, I spend worrying about them finding out about us. And what would happen if they did? You know Dad's joke about the nunnery that he'd tell whenever he brought boys around the old house? I wonder where he'd want to send me.
That's a super bummer. Oh, okay, there we go. My, Andrea's grand aunt, Fern, is her name. So her grandpa's sister, is one of, like, the first 7 people to get transgender surgery. And I would kill to have a conversation with her. Andrea can probably talk about it sometime, but just talk about old guard and having a hard time, right? Her whole family basically shunned her when it happened. Fun and Fire, Civic Auditorium, nice. Messy house. Yeah, I think she got her operation in like the 50s or 60s or something. It was super early. I'd have to ask Andrea to be sure. I guess it was after she had been married and like had kids, after her kids got old enough and moved out. Super wild, right? Like, you think now we're kind of coming around on that and not being so shitty to transgender people. Just imagine over 50 years ago what it would have been like. I'm guessing most people in that situation would have just committed suicide. I feel like I would. She's like 90 something. So even thinking about like how hard it would be for 2 girls in the 90s when people were starting to come around to that a little bit better. If you had slightly conservative parents, it was still a nightmare to live in. How much worse it could be. Yeah, sometime when she's on stream, remind me to ask her about Fern. She can tell us. Yeah, she made it, for sure. You refused to hear us out this afternoon. Your mother and I are putting this in writing, so we're absolutely clear. You were grounded for the rest of the month from social and telephone privileges and from using your car for anything except going to and from school. We understand you're going through. Can't allow you to continue with this kind of behavior at school. Since your privileges are reinstated, we can't allow you to have your bedroom door closed while Lonnie's in the house. Distributing inappropriate materials at school grounds. Uh-oh.
I had an interesting talk with Mom and Dad tonight. One you were never gonna need to have. I mean, you've known, right? I've known. I've known since, like, She-Ra. Mom and Dad didn't, I guess. But they saw the zine and the stuff on the locker, and they were like, is there something we should know about you and Lonnie? And so here's the thing. I was prepared for them to be mad, or disappointed, or start crying, or something. But they were just in denial. You're too young to know what you want. You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me. Well, joke's on them, because they're in for one very long phase.
It really bums me out, man. Vatican is weird. As you can see, the Catholic Church still has a lot of money left over from the Middle Ages. No kidding. I see all the art, including the Sistine Chapel ceiling and the sculptures by Michelangelo, Donatello, and the rest of the Ninja Turtles. Mom will have to come back together. I'd love to be here with someone who really appreciates the history behind everything. They have various relics, pieces of important dead people, so you should probably come too. Probably won't be bored by a bowl. Congratulations, Janice Greenberry, Regional Director, and I say congratulations, because, come on, you're going to take the job, right? What are you waiting for, an engraved invitation? Call them back. In the meantime, let's discuss this little outing you had with our favorite flannel-clad hunk. Yep. Like you're reading a lot and doing an innocent night out. Sure there's something there? You said he has an out-of-town girlfriend. You sure they're not serious? Man, gotta be careful. Hypocrite mom over here too. What the fuck? Kids. The Accidental Warrior. Don't give up on this, honey. By Terrence O'Connor. What's a Fantastic Woman? I haven't heard of it. This game does a really good job of slowly introducing you to the story. Wonderful time on the beaches of Barcelona. Dad and Sam. You like the Gaudi architecture. It's from a strange alien world. I'm headed to my final destination, Amsterdam. For how long, that depends. I'm running low on money. For a cheap standby ticket and call you when I'm headed home. Sorry for short notice. Can't wait to see you again. So that's super recent. Movie about a transgender woman. Booted out, Girl Scout. Going away show for Lonnie D. Oh no. Last show ever.
Lonnie had her going away show with her band tonight. She's so incredible on stage. When she was singing, I could practically forget everything. That we only had 48 hours left. That I don't know what comes next. That I can't live without her. Then she dedicated the last song to me. And I couldn't take it. I was out on the curb in the alley, sobbing till my ribs hurt. I would follow her anywhere, Katie. But I can't. Where she's going. After a long time, she found me. She said she was sorry. She said, I wish things could be different. I just wanted to make you happy. I said, I don't think you can anymore.
Wish I knew how to explain it better. The army is this thing I grew up with. It's part of me. My dad's army friends are like family. I've always known it was where I'd end up. Never thought of it any other way. I wish it could be different. Someday, when I'm settled at a base and you're done with college and you're a famous writer and I can rebuild a tank engine with my eyes closed, things will be different and we can be together. Until then, Lonnie. This is a super bummer. I wonder if you can get all of the buttons. They're pretty well hidden in the map. Be a good thing to do an achievement for. It just makes me sad that people can be so shitty, you know? It's the ROTC part of it isn't about anybody being shitty. But we'll do it. Midnight, June 5th. Final preparations are complete. Interesting.
We agreed our last night together would be our happiest ever, and we'd forget tomorrow was going to come at all. It worked for a while. We had a good time seeing Oscar off, then ran up to the attic to look through our photos, to find one for Lonnie to take with her. And looking at them, I realized they were all in the past, and there wouldn't be any more. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I cried. And she held me. She said she knew it was hard, but life would move on. I said I didn't want my life to keep moving without her. That's when she cried too. I was so exhausted. I must have fallen asleep like that, in her arms. In the morning, I woke up, and I was finally alone.
Couples counseling, June 3rd to 7th, 1995. Oh, so that's why they're not home. They're at couples counseling. Interesting. The accidental human. Dear Kaz, can't tell you what a joy it is to see John Russell back in print. Thank you very much for sending along copies of the new editions. The cover art's really something. You said Unknown Dimension isn't in the business of printing new material, but this revised interest in my work has brought on a wave of inspiration, resulting in a manuscript that completes John Russell's journey. I think you might find intriguing. It is reflective and introspective without forgetting the excitement and weirdness that Unknown Dimension readers expect. Okay, so he did a pretty straightforward James Bond political thriller, JFK assassination thing, and then he decides to, like, put the same character in space. Almost 20 years since John Russell heard the call. Twice he'd saved a president's life. He'd practically forgotten the days of the future, of danger and excitement, the days where he mattered. So when the familiar rip in time opens in front of him and his handlers peer out, he doesn't hesitate. Is the president in danger? No, the life you save this time will be your own. God. Oh, they're good at writing bad stuff. That's to exit. I think so too, favorite customer. I think we're moving in that direction. I think that without trending too far into an attempt at a political quarantine, like, media is a lot to do with that. Video games like Gone Home and movies and TV shows, like, when these are the stories you're seeing all the time, it's not exactly the same as knowing a gay person in real life, or knowing a minority in real life, or knowing someone who struggled in real life. But it gets closer to it, and it gets harder to justify bigoted behavior, you know? So I'm glad that we have stuff like this, and I'm glad that it's so easy to consume. Oh, cool. Mr. Richard. Now this is Ranger Rick. Oh, Ranger Rick's getting married. Interesting. Put the milk back. We're gonna throw it on the floor like an animal. We'll throw the salad dressing on the floor like an animal, though. There's no secret notes in the freezer. Good place to put them. Yeah. Dramatic freezer. No joke. Pantry. Honey snaps, heck yeah. Congratulations on your new position. Having received your formal acceptance letter, I congratulate you. Okay. Away from Ranger Rick. I feel like this would be a really good game to hide Easter eggs in. Anniversary trip, Rick's wedding, crossed off. Katie comes home this month. But it's an anniversary trip and not couples counseling, church potluck. Sam has a dentist appointment scheduled for the future, even though she's run away from home or something. Rat. The accidental savior. Believe it. Always saving the president. Guy only has one idea, it sounds like. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, first let me say I hope this missive finds you well. Feels like a goddamn miracle it finds you at all. Do you know how long I've been trying to track you down? We aren't the feds, the men in black, or any of the sort of creeping fascist hobgoblins. Unknown Dimension is what you might call a specialist publishing house. We traffic in the weird, the head of its... Okay, they're super weird. He's publishing them with a bizarre, crappy, like, Roswell studio. Christ or zombie-like timeless works. Message of the Snakes Men, it's inside me. Venusian flesh traders. James Bond and Harrison Ford might be the dick-swinging heroes of modern suburban America wants, but John Russell, mild-mannered insurance agent by day, reckless history-revising sociopath by night, is the twisted peacekeeper that it deserves. Tradition to reprint the works into your original publisher Mercury Books, folded a decade ago. Supply a new forward. Look forward to embarking with you. He was so excited about it. Poor guy. It's a nice painting of mushrooms. Mother and I will be away for a long weekend celebrating our anniversary. Be camping in the gorge, it will give you a call on the way home. Sorry the kitchen is still mid-renovation. Never trust a contractor. $40 is on the table to order pizza. It's a military hat.
I asked Lonnie what she had to do to get ready to ship out for basic training. She said, not a lot, really. You're not allowed to bring anything with you. You have no possessions, no contact with the outside world while you're in basic. You just train hard every day, and then you deploy from there. So, they'll just send her away. To who knows where. The other side of the country? The other side of the world? My mind, like, can't process it. She's really going to be gone. Just gone.
To file your parents' bet. We are, quite unfortunately, at time for Sailor Dan's subblock. So, I'm going to call it here. Terrible stopping point. There's so much hinging. We gotta go find the secret room under the foyer and go up into the attic. But we will do that next time. Thanks, everybody. This game is super good. I like it very much. I know, right? I apologize to future people watching on YouTube. You're gonna have to wait a few weeks until Sailor Dan's free again on another Friday off.